Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Well, today I've got something properly exciting for you. I can't wait to see it. I know I say that a lot, but this isn't a false alarm. This is seriously quite cool. I agreed to buy this car yesterday and I've had it dropped off on my car park, so I haven't seen it yet. And I'm really excited to go and look around it. As you all know, I love buying a nice low mileage car, and I also love the extinct Swedish car brand Saab. So what I've done here is combine the two. I've bought a 2010 Saab 9.3, which is covered just 16,000 miles. 1.6. I love buying this sort of thing. Now I've paid just £3,500 for it, which on the face of it does seem like a bit of a bargain, but I'm told it does need quite a bit of bodywork. Unfortunately, low mileage often goes hand in hand with poor bodywork. It's indicative of an elderly driver. I suspect that's what's happened here. I mean, this is a 13-year-old car and it's only done 16,000 miles, so that just isn't possible. Someone's obviously sadly passed away or gone into a care home. I'm told that it's been garaged its whole life. It had a speed limiter set to 55 miles an hour, so it's never been driven above 55, and I've got both sets of keys. I suspect because the mileage is so low, this will probably need 4 tyres, new belts, new cam belts, all that sort of stuff. So I'm expecting quite a big spend, but I think it should be worth it. I had a quick look on Auto Trader earlier and there are hardly any Saabs out there, especially ones with low mileage. So I'm thinking if I can get this looking nice, this could be a collector's item. They quite literally don't make them anymore, so this isn't something you could go out tomorrow and replace. Now my other worry is what on earth I'm going to do with it. Straight away I'm thinking I'd like to keep this. The chance of me finding another Saab like this is just, well, slim to none. But what am I going to do with it? When am I going to use it? So realistically, I think I'm going to have to get this looking and going as nice as possible and then sell it. Hopefully for decent money and decent profit. We shall see. Right, let's go and have a look, shall we? Right, well, we're here and it isn't in one of my parking bays. Someone's put it in the wrong spot. On the bright side, the sun's come out. The bodywork is quite poor though. It's quite a good colour. It's like Jaguar Sea Frost Silver. Like a very pale green, like a Giverny green. I like it. Unusually, because it's in the wrong spot, I can do a full lap of it. Look at this. Yeah, that bodywork does need some attention. The supplying dealer was saabcity.co.uk. E1W on London plates. That's interesting. It's a 1.9 TID, which is a bit of a pity. I would have preferred a petrol. One of the headlamps is all misted up with water. Right, well, on the bright side it is a Saab and it's done 16,000 miles, but it does need some money spending on it, that. The wheels want doing. I've really got to go to town with this, haven't I? It's got its original tax disc. The front bumper's slightly damaged there. Yeah. What a pity. Never mind, we can fix it, can't we? Right, as always then, I'm going to do a quick vehicle history check using Car Vertical. So, all you do is go to carvertical.com, type in the vehicle reg. In this case it is Lima Bravo 10, Mike Tango Echo. That must have been one of the very last 9.3s, mustn't it, that? I think they stopped making them in 11 or something. This is currently checking millions of cars across dozens of countries' databases. It'll tell us whether it's ever been stolen, written off, had a mileage rollback, or has outstanding finance on it. I'm slightly concerned that all that bodywork might have written it off. I'm hoping it's not recorded. By the way, if you want to do these checks for yourself, and I urge you to do so before you hand over any cash for a used car or motorbike, then use my promo code HIGHPEAK and you get 10% off each and every vehicle check that you do. Alternatively, click the link below in the video description. Right, and the report's ready. So, 436 million vehicles were checked, over 35 countries. Righty then, so that is a 2010 diesel Saab 9.3, which has never been stolen. There's no mileage fraud and there's no outstanding finance and it's never been involved in a recorded accident. That's a relief then. Ah, look at this, right, the last known mileage was 16,289 and that was in 2019. Oh wow, that's incredible. Right, so in 2019, August of, it had done 16,289 miles. 3 years before that, in May 16, it had done 16,282. So it done 7 miles in 3 years. That's mad. In fact, going back even further, this was only doing 1,000 miles a year, if that. When it was due its first MOT, it had done 13,000 miles in 3 years. It's quite an incredible find, this, isn't it? It's automatic, diesel, it was registered in 2010, June 2010. The ownership changed in June 2011. So I suspect that's when it came up north. It might have been an ex-demo car or a management car or something like that. Right, so it was inspected in August 18 and it had no advisory items. This has been without an MOT then for 4 years. Oh no, 3 years. It's a turbo edition, whatever that means. Right. Well, I suppose we'd have a look around it, hadn't we? This has really confused me, the fact it's in the wrong spot, because I now don't know where to park. And I don't like change. A bit weird like that. Okay then. Got both my keys for it. I'm surprised they're still, well, they haven't been used, have they? They always rot. That one's going a little bit, but the rubber always wears and you can see straight through to the circuit board. My remote locking isn't working. Maybe a battery. Neither's that one. Right then, what can I tell you? Tyres then. Oh, in fact, I've got a bit of, oh, I've just fixed that. A bit of loose trim there, a couple of little scratches, some more scratches and damage there. Tyre then, the tyre is from 2014 and it's a high fly on about 6mm of tread. The rear disc looks a bit ropey. I can see myself putting 4 tyres on this, discs and pads, cam belt. That will come straight off. Caught another car there or a gate post. Those marks will come out. It's a nice colour, isn't it? I can't recall ever seeing one like that. Those front discs look quite shot as well, actually. We've got, on the front, we've got a Black Lion tyre. I've never heard of Black Lion. The Black Lion, nope, never heard of it. How old's that then? Where's my date marker? 2014 again. Right. Now here's probably the worst bit. I need a new headlamp. That's going to be difficult to get hold of, I should imagine. It's cracked and it's let water in, so it looks a state. This, I'm sure my painter, Jimmy, can sort that out for me. Needs a new set of reg plates because the front one doesn't match the back. That's obviously been damaged because this front valance is slightly damaged as well. That's had a whack, hasn't it? Right. I was going to say they look like Zenons, but they're not because there's no headlamp wash. So we need quite a lot of paint here. Wheels need refurbing, new discs and pads. We've got another Black Lion. No, this is an auto grip. Why do people put crap tyres on cars? It does annoy me. That mirror cap wants painting. This is going to need an awful lot of paint. That wants repairing. Shouldn't be that loose. And it's knocked the door out of alignment there, so that wants addressing. That tyre looks ancient. That's its original tyre from 2010. Look at all the cracking on the sidewall. And that is a Continental Sport Contact, which is what it should have. So I'm going to order 4 of those, I think. Try and treat this car with a bit of respect. The back bumper, even though it's got parking sensors, has had a whack, which has creased it, and all the paint's peeling. Got a dead wasp there. Turbo edition. I've never heard of that version. I thought that looks like a badge you'd buy from Halfords, doesn't it? But it must be a model. All this, I think, will come off with a good clean. Not forgetting the boot won't open. I think I'm going to have a very hefty bill there with my painter. It smells mouldy and damp. It's been in a garage, this, I was told, but still, you can't leave a car sitting for years and years and years. You can just see, I don't know whether you can see this on the camera, little bits of mould. I'm going to open this window, this door, let it vent a little bit. Got a National Lottery ticket there. More mould in the back, but genuinely, I don't think these seats have ever been sat in. What a pity. It was obviously somebody's pride and joy, this, wasn't it? Let's have a look under the bonnet. I used to, a few years ago, know everything about these cars. Not only did I quite like them, but I've also had dozens of them. I have to go and get my booster pack, aren't I? So it's going to need a new battery for sure. I very much doubt the timing belt's been done. It'll be due age-wise, won't it? Can't see a sticker anywhere. I mean, it's all in very good order, really. It's never done any miles, has it? Looks dry. Need to look through the service history and see when it was last serviced. People don't like it when I do this, but it's my car, so I shall do what I like. That is crystal clear. Look how young Gary Lineker is. Okay, what have we got in here then? We've got a very old bottle with Saab written on it. Steering fluid. I mean, the inside, apart from the little bit of mould here or there, is very, very tidy. More mould here on the book pack. Service and warranty book then, let's have a look. So this is the 9.3 Saloon Turbo Edition, Saab City, the Highway, London. Glacier Silver, or Glacier. This was some car in its day, wasn't it? We've got heated leather seats. This really is like new. Look at the steering wheel. See all the grain on it still. And here, these often wear off, these buttons. That was quite a good option. Well, not an option. It was a standard feature of that stereo, an auxiliary jacking point. Right, I can see one stamp that's bled through there. So one stamp at... Is that Chatterton Way? Pentagon, right, okay, that was at 6,000 miles in 2011. Then the next year it was at 11,000 miles. That was done at Ashton-under-Lyne, okay, right. 11,000 miles, 2012, 11 years ago that. Time flies, doesn't it? This is the other thing with low mileage cars. The service history is always incomplete because, well, various reasons. I've been there, Trollerton. Right, so what other receipts have we got then? Trying not to show anyone's name or address here. Right, I've got the V5, I've got some insurance documents. They need to be thrown away, really. We've got all the original manuals and brochures, look. Does anyone else miss Saab, or is it just me being a crank? I wish, in an ideal world, this was either a convertible or a estate, and I wish it was a 2 litre petrol or a 2.8 litre petrol. That'd be good, wouldn't it? Still, this must be one of the lowest mileage 9.3s out there. Another cup holder there that flips out. Oh, what have we got here then? Got a washer off something. Everything is just like new. A little bit of water in there from something. What looks like, oh, sticky. Spilt drink of some description. That one's cleaning out. Got some Tic Tacs there that have seen better days. They expired in 2014. This is like a time capsule, isn't it? We've got a car wash. Not a car wash, an air freshener, sorry, from a car wash. Parking ticket from 2014. Another air freshener there. I don't like going through people's personal effects. Plaster there. And loads of these covers for nuts. Some scissors. A bulb. some lipstick. And the light cover, where does that go? All needs a very good clean, this. Oh yeah, the old night panel button there, cruise control. Right, well we're completely flat, aren't we here? So, I think I'm going to go and get my booster pack. Bear with me a minute. I always forget which way should go first. Is it negative first? Never remember. Right, we're on. We are cooking. Well, I'm fully expecting this to start because it's obviously been parked in this position. Got an envelope there. Right, we've done 16,304 miles. You know what I really like about this era of Saab? The font they've used and the whole display cluster. Oh, that one's not working. Oh, there we go, right, immobiliser. Got just over a quarter of a tank of diesel. Right dip beam failure. Time for a service, you don't say. Right, okay then. I didn't really want to close the door. And Barnsley Council visitor permit there. Another one. Where's my little glow plug light? Right, well she fired straight up into life, didn't she? The fan works. This really is immaculate. Obviously my radio's gone flat. Any presets? No thanks, Diana. Old night panel where everything dies. There we go, look. What does that button do? Oh, sport. That's sport then, right. Very good. Let's get these windows down. Create a through draft. Will it let me into the boot then now? There we go. Right, so in here we've got some stolen vegetable bags from a supermarket. Stinks in here actually. Oof, really stinks. What's that smell like? Nothing in here to create a smell, surely. Stinks. Right, just a very, very musty smell. Where do they go? I'll leave them under there before they get lost. Now, because this hasn't had an MOT for 3 years, I don't want to take it on the road. Wouldn't be legal. So I think instead we'll just drive it around this car park, make sure it changes gear while we figure out what to do with it. My air conditioning works, that's all fine. We'll knock that off. This really is a time capsule. Don't really know what I'm looking for here. I was just making sure that it changed gear okay. We didn't have any cracked springs or anything. It seems to be all alright. No weird noises. We've got a reverse gear. Don't want to spend too much time in this because all I can smell is mould and it's no good for your lungs, is it? It's nowhere near as bad as some of the things I've driven, but still can't be doing me much good. Right, I think what I'm going to do then is park this up and formulate some sort of plan, because this needs some TLC, doesn't it? Tyres, disc pads, service, cam belt, MOT, obviously bring that up to date. Then cosmetics, then we need 4-wheel refurbs, paint work. This could be an expensive one, couldn't it? So 3.5 grand. What's my bill going to be on this? I think I could easily spend 2.5 grand on this. If I could keep my spend to 2.5 grand, Just don't want to do like I did with the Golf and massively overspend. If I could spend £2.5 on this, I think that's a good enough budget. So it would owe me £6, and then I think it could be worth £8 this, maybe £9. I mean, what's it worth? There's nothing else out there like it. Right, leave it with me then. This could be a while. Give me a month and I should have some news for you. Right, cheers guys, see you later on. And we're back in the Saab, and I've finally got a car worthy of its odometer. I don't even need to say the next sentence, do I? I have massively overspent on this. Massively. I know that'll come as a shock to some of you. You probably just choked on your tea, but I have spent a little bit too much. I think I'll genuinely struggle to get some profit out of this one, but I still think it was worth it. A 16,000 mile Saab, a brand that's gone bust, that they don't make anymore. What would you have done? I've got to live with my decision, but I'm quite happy with it. So what did I do then? Well, after we last spoke, I ran it straight down to my mechanics for a service, an MOT, new tyres, new wiper blades, a new cam belt, a new headlamp. You can see how I overspent, can't you? There were other things as well which I can't quite remember, but shortly I'll go through all the bills with you. There are quite a lot. I could have cut corners with this car and saved hundreds of pounds, but I didn't. For example, I put 4 Continental tyres on it. I could have just put Landsails or Happy Gallops, but I didn't. I could have probably not bothered doing the cam belt because it's only done 16,000 miles, but it's still a 13-year-old cam belt, just made of rubber. It probably perished. So, I replaced that. My bill there at my mechanics was nearly £2,000. When you think I paid £3,500 for the car. Anyway, what else did I do? I picked it up from there and then I took it to Jimmy the Magician for what turned out to be a nearly full respray. I think the roof was alright actually thinking about it, but every other panel had marks all over it, so it's been completely repainted. As you'll have seen from many a video, Jimmy does a really good job, but on this occasion even he commented on how proud he was of it. It's turned out really nicely. There was another colossal bill there, but again I think it was worth it. I couldn't have really avoided it. When I finally picked it up from Jimmy's, I took it to Prestige Wheels to have its wheels refurbished. If you remember, they were quite badly curbed. The previous owner was an elderly chap and he'd managed to curb every single wheel quite badly. One in particular had a big chunk out of it and needed to be welded. So Prestige have done a really good job. They stripped them and then powder coated them, and now they look as good as new. They turned the job around really quickly. That cost me £288. Then I picked it up from there and took it over to Tameside Valeting for a full detailed clean. If you remember, because it had been sat in somebody's garage for many years, it was quite mouldy and musty. All the seatbelts were all mouldy. So, well, again, it's getting quite repetitive this, but it looks like new. That cost me £70, which I think was money well spent. The last job, I think, was the icing on the cake. Some might argue it was the most important job of all, and I did that myself. It was fit some new reg plates, in the pouring rain, all by myself. Then I took some photographs of it and got my advert live. I've got this advertised for £8,495, which, alright, sounds horrendous, doesn't it, for a 13-year-old Saab? But it's done 16,000 miles. And I know this sounds, well, I sound like a typical car dealer now, don't I? But find me another. They don't exist. So I think once I've finished filming, I shall get it back in the showroom, chamois it all off, and sit and wait. I might have to sit quite a while. I hope not, but it is a very niche market, this, isn't it? Right then, let me park up somewhere scenic and I'll talk you through my costs. You might want to pop the kettle on. Perfect, the rain's just stopped. What a miserable day it's been. And here we'll do then. Right next to an overflowing bin. Lovely. I'd forgotten just how comfortable Saab seats were, especially with the seat heater. Right. Where shall we start then? So I now have a clean MOT with not a single advisor item. Right then, so for a full service cam belt, etc. Even my mechanic gave up writing a job list for this. So cam belt, kit and water pump, £129.78. Antifreeze, £20.99. Oil filter, £8.99. Air filter, £16.80. Fuel filter, £20.44. Pollen filter, £14.12. Oil, £28. 4 Continental tyres, because I'm an idiot, £405. A new battery, £105. Front brake discs, £80.42. When a car sits, you end up having to replace everything. Front brake pads, £44. Rear brake discs, £50. Rear brake pads, £25. Wiper blades, £25. Labour, £360. MOT test fee, £40. That comes to, with the VAT, £1,655.84. Then they must have forgotten to bill me out the headlamp, near side front headlamp. That was £365.53, plus some labour to fit. So my total was £456.64. So my total there is £2,100. Next we've got Jimmy the Magician's bill. Magic isn't cheap these days, is it? Repair and repaint full offside. Repair and repaint full near side. Remove bumper front and rear. Repair and repaint. Oh, that's quite reasonable. Repair mirror backs. Buff polish wax full vehicle. Paint front bumper accents. £1,270. For the amount of work gone into that, that's a very good price, you know. So in fact, let me add this up. So I paid £3,500 for the car, plus £1,270 for the paint, £456, £64 for the headlamp, £16.55, £85 for my mechanic's bill. Then we've got some reg plates at £15. Don't forget I fitted those myself. £70 for a valet, £288 at Prestige Wheels. Yeah, right. So my grand total is £7,255.49. So if I can get 8.5 back, which I don't know whether that's achievable or not. It might be a tad optimistic, but who knows? If I can get 8.5 back, then there's a £1,250 profit, which would be nice. But shouldn't say I don't care, because obviously I do care. I'm quite pleased to have rescued this car because it desperately needed saving. A car with such low mileage needed this sort of TLC. So there we go. It isn't the best example in how to make money in this job, admittedly, but, well, I think my heart ruled my head on this one. Oh, by the way, speaking of heart over head, make sure you check out the latest video from Transformotion. The lads from Transformotion came out and had a look at my Range Rover Classic, which I really need to restore. They were up for doing the work until they saw it, and then I think they've changed their mind, but I don't know. Liam's up for it, but Andy's a little bit more hesitant, shall we say. So check out the video, I'll leave the link below. And yeah, I think that's about it. So thank you once again for watching. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done already. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. I'm out of breath. Right, cheers guys. See you next time.